conference championship. What's your view on it in spite of where you guys are? And
well,
many games out of that.
Well, I really think, in all sincerity and all respect, I asked the guys this morning to take off these blinders. All right. Some of the time the problem is looking down the road. We're trying to tell these guys to enjoy each day, each week, and play on one at a time. And because nobody really knows what's going to happen. Right now, everybody understands that Norfolk State is the front runner. They have several games left that's going to be important. And from week to week, it's been said, and it's so apropos this year, parity. So you really just don't know how it's going to play out, but for us to have any kind of positioning, we just going to have to make sure that we take care of what we can take care of.
Season pick and just how things are actually.
Yeah, well, normally the preseason picks is based on the idea of what happened the previous year. Of course, all three of us shared the championship last year, so it made sense to do that. But we coached that HBCU All-Star game last year at the Georgia Dome. A lot of Savannah State players were there. So again, you know, it's good for media, it's good for hype, it's good for, you know, but the key is this. Out of all that's been done, it's still not over in terms of that prediction coming to fruition. And that's what I was trying to say earlier. It's still not too late for those kind of things to happen. You just really don't know because injuries, whatever, you know, personalities, even though you come into a season, you have certain predictions. It still is based on, you know, staying healthy, you know, guys playing well. And then, of course, a lot of energy has been brought to this conference because you had 5 new coaches coming into the conference too. So all of that plays into it. And the team that ends up, when the dust settles at the top, it's going to be the team that probably had the less injuries. And then Norfolk, they have not lost. We went up there last year and played them for homecoming. And we came back and beat them at their homecoming. They have not lost in conference play since that time. And this year, all of the games that were considered contenders, all were in Norfolk. How many times does that happen? You know, even this past weekend playing Hampton, it was right at Dick Price Stadium, right there in Norfolk. So a lot of things got to play into it. Sometimes, you know, things work out the way you had anticipated, but then very few times does it ever.
Coach, the two teams are somewhat similar, I think, separated by 5 picks by the secondary. When you look at the secondary, how big a part is that going to play in this game, you think, this weekend in terms of just, you know, pass protection?
Yeah, in terms of defensive play, the secondary. Well, we're leading the conference right now with 18 picks, which means we're getting our hands on that football quite a bit. And that's attributed to a strong pass rush, putting pressure on the quarterback, as well as good positioning by Jarrell Stewart was supposed to be here, but he had a class, well, not a class, but his teacher called him about something there. He's the kind of guy that really invites people to throw the ball on him because, you know, he's a 5'9" guy, or might be 5'8". But he gets great position, you know, and because of that, he comes down with a lot of those balls. That's going to be very important. But however, when you look at South Carolina State, they prefer to run the football. They have 2 strong running backs. And this quarterback, Q, who has, this will be his 3rd game started because the other guy got hurt against Norfolk State and has a meniscus tear. He's more of an athlete than I think the first quarterback was. So with that in mind, we got to be ready to shut down that run game. And I thought the defense, you know, played well. We got off the field 75% of the time in 3rd down situations. So again, and we played with a lot of energy. Special teams, I thought Houghton did a great job of transitioning the field. A couple of times those punts were downed by Devin Roberts inside the 5-yard line, which means that their offense came out and had to go 95 yards. Well, when you look behind you as a defensive player and see 95 yards, you can play a little better defense. And so I'm just impressed with all 3 phases in terms of what happened. And in my mind, we have finally turned the corner, and we were able to not just pass the ball but run the football, and those are the things that you need to have as we continue to move down, towards this next game, which is South Carolina State, Orangeburg. I'm sure somebody's going to keep the stats on how many years it's been. We're only concerned about this year. It's a 1:30 kickoff in Orangeburg, and Coach Pugh does a great job, has a real solid program. But the key right here is we were here last year at the same point where every game counted, and certainly it's the same this year. And we're looking forward to going up to Orangeburg on Friday morning. As I said, kickoff is 1:30 on ESPN3. Tape delayed live 10:30 on ESPNU.